do some quick tips on Blessed Unleash. Quick leveling. I feel like everybody takes forever to level. I mean, most of my friends do. So hopefully they watch this video so they can level up. What you want to do, of course, the basics. Knock out all your quests. All the yellow ones. Then the blue ones. Never do the blue ones first. Yes, those are your main quests. But in this game, it isn't a game where you want to hit main quest. You don't want to finish the main quests faster because eventually you will hit a wall. So you're going to want to level up along with those main quests. And most of the time, main quests are milestones or stepping stones to teach you how to level up or grow, because you will have to be upgrading your gear eventually. So that's tip number one, obviously. Whenever you sign on, do any of the bosses you have, like these icons. If you see it on the map, that means you can do it. Try to do as many of them as you can daily, because that will give you a chunk amount of XP and they level with you. So fighting these bosses and whatnot will help you level up. And eventually you will unlock more and more around the whole map. Let's finish killing this one and then I'll continue. All right, the reason why I wanted to show you guys that, and I know it took forever, is how much of a pain in the ass it is to fight early level bosses when you're higher level. bosses level up with you. So there will be certain stages where the bosses will jump in level. Obviously, that one's 27. Probably when I'm 32 or 35, or I'm already 32. My bad. I'm still thinking I'm 30. Maybe when I'm 35 or 37, it's gonna jump up to 32. Um, so if you have any friends that play this game with you, make sure they do daily bosses with you. I like to do them with some of my friends and the misses sometimes just to get them out the way faster. Obviously, doing it by yourself is extremely slow, but that is one of the ways to level up. If you hover over some of these, you will see how much XP they give you to 119,446 plus 100 skill XP. Look over here. This one would give me 131,000. So when you're barely starting this game or any level, say you're struggling for XP, when you're starting this game, you will see that the XP values are lower. They're tailored to be for your specific level. So just do them. You only got to do them once a day. These extra bosses, some of them you got to do weekly. So any of them with a large timer means they're weeklies, and anything with a small timer, like 15 hours, that's a daily. You can see this one. This one says 135. So these are weekly bosses. You won't have to worry about this tomorrow or the next couple of days, but you will have to continuously do these every day. So doing all these bosses daily will give you XP and will stack. You should be guaranteed a level or 2 levels if you're doing your quests. So yeah, there's all those bosses. There's a boss over here. There's a boss here, 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 here. So all around the areas you'll be playing. This is the beginning area. Once you move on, the wolf will be the first boss. Then the tree ant I just fought, and then so on and so forth. You'll be going in this direction. So it's basically this area, then it's Kazakor, Navera, No Waste. You will do a boss here. Then you'll be traveling to ruins of Treseta. Then you're gonna move all the way up to South Sparrows. There's no boss there. Pandania Ruins. There's no bosses here, but as soon as you get to Canis Mountains, you'll be doing Two-Headed Wyvern. You'll be doing Bone Dragon. This is the whole map for those of you guys that haven't seen it. But yeah, quests, doing your boss dailies and weeklies, preferably with a squad. If you don't have anyone to play with, feel free to add me on Xbox. By Sarah server, whatever it's called, the first server. Um, if you're struggling with doing certain missions, feel free to ask in chat because most of the time there's a lot of good players out there who are willing to help. They'll look at it and be like, sure, what quest? They'll let you know if they can help you or not, because there are certain blue quests that take you to an instance that you can't be helped and you got to do it on your own, which means you got to upgrade your gear and um, do that one yourself. But on the quests you can get help on, people will and sometimes are willing to help you do a few of them together. I'm normally looking at chat for those people, and there's a few other people that do that sometimes. I know my buddy Kill the Astronaut does that as well. But if you really need help on a quest, make sure you talk to chat. That way you can get the help that you need, because certain quests are a pain, and getting that help will help you go over that hump. That way you can get back to grinding out, or maybe you're one step away from unlocking another armor piece, boss fight, or XP events, and that's all you really needed, that little hurdle. There's a lot of blue quest hurdles that will prevent you from leveling, so make sure you do a lot of your extra side stuff or ask for help in chat. Okay, and then the last little tip I want to give is maximize what you plan on doing and only help others who are in the same grind speed as you. Once you're done for the day, you can choose to help others so that you can continue to gain XP. So when I grind MMOs, and I play plenty, I'm always hopping around MMOs, hopping around grindy XP games. That's just what I like about games. If they have XP and a grind to do, I normally hop on that. But sometimes your friends don't play at the same speed as you, and they always tell you to wait up or whatever. Try to play at a time when they're not playing. That way you can get all the things you need to get done completed, so that when they do need help, you aren't wasting too much time on carrying them. And that way it doesn't feel like a burden. In return, it's like, well, I got nothing else to do. So helping them will give me that missing XP. But if you're busy trying to do stuff, you're only holding back your XP gain. And when it comes time to your grind, you're going to be behind because you focus too much on helping others and not focused on your grind. Because in this game, you can do a lot of the things together, but there are some little stepping stone quests that will prevent you from helping your buddy. And if they're on a quest that they can't get past, there's no reason on waiting for them and slowing your grind. Make sure you continue your grind for the day, knock out your bosses, your weekly or daily bosses, and then later on do dungeons with them so they can get XP, or do two-man arenas, or uh, help them farm for materials by fighting other creatures. Eventually, they will get a piece of gear that will help them boost them up so they can do their quest. But sitting there all day worrying about it usually is going to hurt your grind than help anybody's. And if you're that person that grinds on top very fast, you know you're going to end up running people through dungeons and stuff. So you don't want to hurt your grind, because that means your whole squad's going to be held back as well if you're the one they rely on to do anything in the first place. So make sure you focus on your grind before you help anybody. And once you got nothing to do, helping other people is the alternative to gain XP than just solo farming, because it does take forever to kill some of the creatures on your own. So that's when the best time to help others is, if you're at that level where you're just solely focusing on grind. But if you need help, or you want to help, feel free to do so. There's nothing wrong with that either, because there's times where, like if you look at the quests I have, I got to go capture an animal. That has nothing to do with grind. That's, in my opinion, a filler quest, a waste of time quest. And talk to Krista at the Desert Elf Library. So I feel like I'm at a point where I don't really care. So I can go help people do dailies, do dungeons, do whatever. I'm farming XP. I kind of just want to do that instead of doing the main quest. So if you have that mentality as well, then feel free to help find a breaking point for you and help whoever you want to help at that point, which I've found for myself at this point. So I really don't see a point in continuing to do the side stuff, as it doesn't, the quest I'm doing barely even gives you an XP. So it's basically time over effort, which is better. Obviously, the stuff with the least amount of time and gives you the most XP you want to do. And sure, bosses take forever to kill, but eventually people will show up, and that will counter how long most of these filler quests are going to take. But that being said, those are the quickest tips I can give you for leveling fast in this game. Bosses and dungeons will probably give you the most XP. This isn't a game you can just steamroll past. This game will take you some time to do things. And if you don't make a little, I guess, mental schedule on how you're going to proceed in doing quests or bosses, you will be taking forever to level. That's just how this game is. I will be doing some quick tips on other MMOs and explaining the differences in those. So appreciate anybody who's checking out this video and stopping by. Gonna be uploading this. If you need any help, feel free to add me and join in on the streams and ask any questions you may have.